Well, this is the police. This should be Bryson Withers' phone number, correct? Excuse me? Have the police in this area started using text message to talk with people now? Is there a problem with the way you're being approached by us? Well, this is the first time I've ever heard about the police doing this sort of thing. Nothing in the news or anything has talked about the police starting to text people they find to be suspects in a case. Unless this is some sort of new tactic that your department has developed, which in that case makes all of this even more odd to a man like myself. I'm sure someone like you would have never heard anything about this. But recently, the police force here has started to update all their methods for reaching out to suspects. One such way is through text. It's a more hands-off approach, allows for there to be less of a chance that an officer or the suspect gets harmed. Being that we are the police, it's not difficult for us to get people's phone numbers. That's very interesting. I'll have to look into all of that at a later date then. So now, why would the police be reaching out to me right now, over text? Well, Bryson, I'll give you the reason for why I'm talking with you now. It was a victim's report about a fraud case you're a part of, and in that report they say they had been scammed by you, so you're going to need to pay $50,000 as settlement to them. And that's why I've gotten in touch with you. Excuse me? So what you're saying is that I'm being blamed for committing a crime, a scam, on someone, and will now need to pay a settlement for it? As far as we're aware, there will be no court hearing for this case, as you've already been proven to be the scammer. And what you've done had been made clear to us in the victim's report. I'm sorry, but I've never scammed anyone, or committed any sort of fraud. So then this could mean you were acting on another's behalf, not knowing you were committing a crime. Perhaps when you committed the scam you were under the influence, don't recall your actions. That can't be. I've never consumed enough alcohol before to make me blackout drunk. It is known that when people become that inebriated, they'll usually not remember any of the moments leading up to it. But I'm sorry, but that is not going to be enough to make you innocent in this case. But when it comes to things like committing fraudulent activity, the suspect must have been aware of what they were doing when committing the crime, or else it cannot be considered a purposeful crime, right? So what you're saying is the scam was an accident? Let me ask you something. There are many types of scams and frauds in this world. So, could you please explain to me in a little bit more detail what kind of scam the victim is saying I committed? Do you know what a badger game is, by any chance? Well, sort of. Isn't that a scam which targets men primarily? Where a man and a woman will target a man by having the woman approach him and start to perform sexual acts with him. And just before things become too physical, the man will take a picture of the two or video and use that as blackmail while threatening the victim to pay up or else he'll take legal action. And that's what a badger game is, right? You seem to have the description of that form of scam spot on. Thanks? That makes this all the more troubling to me. I'm not sure why it does. I don't ever remember committing a crime like that, and had I, things would be a whole lot more serious in my case. But from what I've read in this victim's report, you are the man that committed the crime, and you will have to pay for it. I think it's best that you just come forward about things and pay the victim their $50,000 that they've asked for, before we have to escalate things any further. If you are able to pay that settlement off right now, then there will be no criminal record made in your case, and you can go right back to the life you'd been living before. So really, $50,000 is pretty cheap for something like a clean record, right? Could you give me some time to think about this? Even if I wanted to pay that settlement right now, $50,000 is a large amount, and I would need some time to actually get all that money together. Understood. But I cannot allow you much time to think about this, as you are being convicted of this crime. And also, you will not be able to get away from us, as we will have eyes watching you at all times. Please do not forget that simple fact. Oh, is that so? Understood.
Bryson, sorry it's been so long since I've last talked with you. And I'm sorry for showing up out of the blue again. But I have something very important to talk with you about. Are you able to chat for a few seconds? I have to make this quick anyway, so please allow me a little bit of your time.
Long time no see, Chloe. What's happened to you?
I know that this is going to be right out of left field for you, so I'm very sorry.
What? What's going on right now?
I was threatened by him.
What? Threatened by who?
Actually, this all started to happen because of what I did. I went and cheated, stabbing my husband in the back, and that's what led to this.
What?
I understand that what I did was very wrong, but I didn't know what to do about it, and I still don't know. And now I've gotten myself all caught up in something far worse than the problems I originally had, and it's scary for me, so much that I can't move. I need a professional like you to help me.
Chloe, could you please calm down for me first? Please take 3 deep breaths for me, please, and let your heart slow down.
Okay. I'm beginning to calm down a little.
Are you able to speak to me more calmly now?
I should be able to. I want to talk about everything so that I can feel a little bit better.
Alright then. Now this could all be wrong on my part, but did you make me the target of some kind of scam?
What? How do you know?
Well, just a little bit ago I got some text from a man claiming he was part of the police.
Already?
No, I knew something was up with the whole situation, so I played it out like I was going to believe him, then ended the conversation for a bit.
I'm sorry. I didn't think he would already be starting to cause you problems.
So you knew this was going to happen?
Yes. Actually, originally the real target was going to be my husband, your little brother.
My little brother?
He started to tell me about how crazy it was that someone like my husband could get money from the both of us just because we had an affair. But I just couldn't bear the thought of getting my husband caught up in a scam like that. And I knew that me cheating would be heard about by everyone eventually, so I went and changed my husband's contact info with yours in my phone and told him. His name's Chase, by the way, and he was the man I'd been sleeping with. But I'm sure he didn't say anything more to you besides that he was the police.
I see. So that's what led to all of this. Can you tell me, have you ever participated in any other scams with that Chase guy before? Or is this your first time?
This is my first time, because he forced me to help him commit it. He threatened me to.
Have you talked with my little brother about what's all happened yet?
I was planning to talk with him about it tonight when he got back home from work.
Tonight?
He had actually been gone for some time on a business trip, so, well, I'm sure he's not going to want to hear about all of this when he gets home. But I have to tell him the whole truth. This is what I get for being unfaithful.
Understood. I believe that you'll do just that, then. There are still some things I'd really like to learn about this situation from you, but I'm not the one in charge here.
That's right. I'm sorry about this.
No, you don't have to worry about it. I happen to work with someone who can handle this sort of thing for you, so I'll go and have a chat with him right now. There is going to be a lot of work that needs to be done here, and so this is going to take some time. Please just sit tight and wait for one of us to get back to you.
Okay, I'll be ready for whatever has to happen.
Rawson, may we continue our conversation now? If you do not hurry up and get that money transferred over to the victim soon, we're going to have to come and arrest you. Do you understand, Rawson? By not replying to me right now, you're making things really difficult for your future self. The law will not go easy on you for not abiding. Anyway, like I said to you earlier, we have eyes on you, so there's no way for you to get away. Please just come forward, pay off this settlement.
Bryson, I talked with my husband about everything. About me cheating on him and about what Chase is doing.
I know. I just got off the phone with my brother a second ago. And from what I hear, you guys are planning on handing in your divorce papers later, right?
That's right. Actually, we already handed them in today. And the plan is for me to pay him a settlement later on as well. But he did say he'd be kind and wait for this whole scam thing to be dealt with first before asking for that settlement.
Is that right?
I really messed up big time here. How could I have stabbed someone as kind as your little brother in the back like that?
Well, from what he told me, he understands that him being away from work made you feel lonely and tempted you to seek another man.
But cheating is never okay.
No, it is not.
And due to my unfaithfulness, I got a criminal involved who's now asking you to pay up. I can't do this anymore. I regret everything so much.
Chloe, you'll never be able to erase the problems you've caused. You can still find a way to make your future better than your past, effectively causing most people to forget about it. That all depends on what you do.
Okay, then that means I need to toughen up and become a better woman, and that's what I'll do.
Right, Bryson. Things are not going to look good for you pretty soon here. If you don't come forward and pay that settlement, you're going to get a criminal record. Do you understand what I'm saying here? From what I've learned, you once worked for a very large firm as an office worker, right? I'm sure, being the man that you are now, you should have more than enough money to pay this little settlement off. It's only $50,000, right? And if for some reason you're not able to pay this off, then your only option is borrowing the money to pay up. Bryson, we can no longer wait for you. If you do not have that money transferred over to us by the end of the day, we are going to have to come and arrest you. You will be given a criminal record. Do you understand? It's only $50,000, and yet you're willing to refrain from paying that and having your whole life ruined because of it. How about you say something to me? Hello, Mr. Police Officer. Oh, I'm sorry, I should have said Chase, right? So you're finally replying to me now, huh? Well, it was getting pretty dangerous right there, Bryson. Had I not told my men to stop their advance towards your place just then, you would have been raided, placed under arrest. You should be thankful for that. Now, I'm going to send you the bank account in which you can transfer that $50,000 into. Oh, Chase, before you do that... What do you want? Well, I'm just a bit concerned with how you've handled your scam here, because, well, from what I can tell, it's so flawed that you have to be an amateur. Huh? Well, I guess you've lasted quite a while now, trying to get that money from me, even though this has to be your first time ever trying to scam someone. Well, what are you talking about, Bryson? If you keep it up with that nonsense, I'm going to have you placed under arrest. Chase, I happen to be a detective for the state police. So do you really want to try that with me? What? A detective? Although I don't normally deal with things like fraud and scams, but I am still part of the state police. That means I have the jurisdiction to work with any department in this state. What? Hold on a second. You're a detective? Are you kidding me? I'm not kidding. Although you would never be able to tell because we're just texting one another. Wait. There's no way you're part of the police. You're Chloe's husband, right? You're supposed to be just an average office worker. Her husband is now. But before he married Chloe, he was working for the police as well. However, once he got married, he decided to settle down and went to work an office job. Wait, what? So you're not Chloe's husband? That's right. I'm not. What the hell is going on here now? Chloe didn't want her husband to be caught up in all this scam you have going on here, and so she gave you the number of a state police detective. My number. And hoped that I would be able to deal with you for her. As she told me soon after you had first contacted me about how she needed my help. She started talking to you. She made a very smart play in changing her husband's contact information with mine, making you think that I was her husband. That's why we're here now. Did you say? That bitch. I can't let her get away with this. How about you start getting a grip on the reality of your situation first, before you start to talk about her? What? I think it's time you started worrying about yourself now, Chase. What the hell? You've come this far with your scam, so I don't think you'll be able to get away from me that easily. What the hell will you be about to do to me? I made sure to tell my troopers to get after you before you caught on to your current situation. What? But hold on a sec. This is the end for you, Chase. Your new life of crime was very short-lived. God damn it! Right after I told him what was going to happen, he made a run for it out of his apartment front door. But we were one step ahead of him, and both the state police and city police had his place surrounded. He was able to make it past 2 of the officers and got on his bike to make a getaway. However, the officers also brought a K9 unit with them, and that dog made a mess of Chase. He tried to wrestle the dog off of him, but this only made the dog bite harder and deeper, which really got him screaming. But because he was still moving around and making it hard for the police officers to get to him, the K9 handler called his dog away, and they tasered Chase. After the taser had been deployed, he was pretty much out of juice. But this didn't stop the dog from slipping loose and getting a few more bites in on him, completely ending Chase's reign of terror. After the dog was taken off of him and cuffs were placed on, he looked like a bloody mess and had to be taken to the hospital in order to have all the dog bites stitched up. There, he would spend a day getting all 319 stitches that he would need, and after the work was done, he was taken to the local police station. And after a very brief questioning and a quick trial at the courthouse, he was taken away by the police with plenty of charges. As of right now, though, Chase is locked away in a state penitentiary, where he will be serving 3 years. Oh, did I forget to say that it wasn't him trying to scam me that landed him there? Because the main reason was due to him pushing one of the officers over in his getaway, which was seen as assault on an officer. Had he not done that, he would have been a lot better off and might have even gotten off on parole instead. As for my little brother's ex-wife, Chloe, she was able to prove that she was forced to give my information away to Chase and therefore was not arrested for her actions. However, she still had to deal with the settlement to her ex-husband, and once she had paid that off, she returned back to her parents' house. Though she stopped by my office on her way home and thanked me for getting rid of Chase, and said that while she was with her parents, she had worked really hard on turning her behavior around for good.
Hey, Melvin! It seems like your salary from this month still didn't get paid into your bank account? Yesterday should have been payday, right? Am I getting mixed up here? What's going on?
Mallory, no. Well, you see, what actually happened is my company did a restructure and they're laying off tons of employees.
Huh? What are you talking about? It's not April Fool's Day today, you know.
I'm dead serious. They sprung it on me out of nowhere this morning. Apparently, 3 separate branch offices are being closed down due to steady deterioration in performance over the recent years. The branch I work at was among the terminated.
What the hell? Are they not even gonna transfer you or get you a placement somewhere else?
They did mention something about a placement at a different company, but I looked them up, and it turns out they're notorious for shady business practices and subjecting their employees to rigorous, borderline illegal overtime schedules.
How can you know that before you join them?
You're right, but here's the thing. 2 of my friends have worked there in the past. Both of them ended up quitting after either becoming severely ill or depressed due to the awful conditions. As far as they both tell me, the company's done nothing to improve conditions for workers, and still runs under the same old corrupt executives, under the same old system. So, yeah, I can't exactly say I'm feeling super enthusiastic about that place right now.
How can you be so nonchalant about this? You just lost your job. You should be willing to do whatever it takes to find a new one ASAP.
Don't be so unreasonable, Mallory. Charging into a cesspit of corruption like that, despite knowing exactly what it's like, would be beyond reckless. I have to think things through carefully here. This is our future we're talking about.
That's exactly my point. How do you plan on keeping a roof over our heads?
Of course, I'm gonna look for something else. I plan on doing the rounds on all the job hunting sites starting tonight to get a feel for what's out there and apply for anything that looks promising.
I want a divorce.
Excuse me?
I married you because I thought you were a high earner and showed promise of making it big time. That was the biggest miscalculation of my life.
Huh? Why are you talking to me like this all of a sudden?
I just withdrew all the money from our shared savings bank account. You can think of it as my alimony payment. Look on the bright side. We don't have to waste time fighting through our lawyers now.
What? You just took it without telling me?
I'll have all my stuff together and be gone by the end of the day.
Mallory, just wait a sec!
Toodles! Melvin, what's going on? Is it true you two got a divorce?
Oh, hey sis. Yeah, it's true. Wow. So, this really is true? I can't believe it.
To think you actually begged a girl that beautiful and now she's running away? Did you do something to scare her off?
I got laid off in a restructure.
Huh?
The branch I worked at became a target of restructure because the company's going through some financial difficulties.
What?
They did give me a placement at another company, but they're notoriously shady and subject their employees to awful conditions. I have my own future and mental health to think about, so there's no way I can seriously consider joining a company like that. When I told Mallory that, however, she divorced me on the spot.
Wait, she did what now? Are you sure you explained the situation properly?
Of course, but she wouldn't even hear me out.
What? Something feels so off about this.
Yeah, you're not wrong. When I calmed down and actually thought about what she said, especially the comments she made when she divorced me, I soon understood that she married me under the assumption that she would be free to use me as her personal ATM in perpetuity. She took $4,000 in our shared savings account without even asking me, like it was her birthright. Although, when I think about her wasteful spending habits, it actually doesn't seem that bad, considered as more of a kind of breaking off relations fee. I'd probably suffer more in the long run if we stayed together. Luckily, the account with the money I saved up over the years when I was single remains untouched. Looks like the woman I loved was a scheming gold digger all along. I got tossed aside like a piece of garbage the second the money ran out. Life can be cruel, huh? If I'm honest, I want absolutely nothing to do with her ever again.
I see. Well, if that's how you feel, I won't say anything else on the matter. But in any case, first things first, finding a new job. Got any ideas in mind?
I've been browsing Apple jobs for the time being.
Anything in the pipeline yet?
Unfortunately not.
Well, in that case, I have a suggestion of my own.
You do?
My husband's company are looking to hire some freelancers right now.
Freelancers?
When he gave me a quick rundown of what the job would entail, I immediately thought of you. It seems like it would be a great match for your skills and experience.
No kidding? Sweet!
They do usually hire through the usual official channels, such as job sites and agencies. But you were a top performer at your last company, and I can vouch for you being as hardworking as they come. So when I explained the situation to my husband, he said as long as it's okay with you, he'd like to have you complete a practical test.
Count me in! I'm just grateful for the opportunity. Thanks a bunch, Kira. It's kind of a coincidence you should mention this, because I was actually considering going freelance as one of my options.
It's fate. Hopefully this turns into just the opportunity you need.
Here's hoping. I'll give it my best shot.
Okay, So here's a message from my husband. I'll have one of my HR guys give you a call soon. Sit tight.
Got it. Thanks a bunch, guys.
Hey, Melvin, long time no see. Melvin, are you there?
Who's this?
Don't pretend you forgot me. That's just not possible. It's your wife.
Weird. This isn't my wife's phone number.
Oh, come on, Melv. Now I know you're just plain dumb. It's Mallory. It's been over 3 years. Can you believe it?
What do you want? Did you not have me blocked before?
Well, maybe I might have, but I have no reason to do that anymore. Things have changed. So, what do you say? Shall we get back together?
What? Where the heck did that come from?
Surely me and you don't need to waste time with boring run-ups and introductions.
It's less that we need to, and more that I have no interest of getting back with you to begin with.
Oh, stop being so coy, you sly fox. Trying to hide it won't get you anywhere.
What are you talking about?
You make $75K a year now, right?
Huh? How do you know how much I earn?
Well, you know how one of your old classmates is one of my friends? He told me you and him were discussing your salaries at the bar at a school reunion 2 months ago. A conversation which was overheard by the formerly hottest girl in school as she ordered drinks, who then decided she had the hots for you and went in to make her move, in response to which you defiantly declared, "My heart already belongs to another woman. I have no interest in you."
Ah, that explains it then. I did wonder how you knew. It's true, I did say that. Which is exactly why I won't.
Okay, great. I'm ready. Let's get back together.
Huh?
I think it would be so amazing if we could tie the knot all over again. I want another wedding. Let's remarry, but abroad this time.
No, wait! What the hell? How did you get from what we were just talking about to this? Surely you got the message.
You're so cute when you get all shy, Melvy.
What makes you think I'm being shy?
Do you really want me to spell it out for you?
I don't understand it all. So, yes, please do.
You really, really want to hear me say it, don't you? Okay, I guess I have no choice. I know that the person you said your heart belongs to at the school reunion is me.
What?
I know, you silly Billy. It couldn't be more obvious.
What on earth makes you think like that?
It's only been 3 years. You were head over heels in love with me. That's not exactly something that disappears in such a short space of time. It's okay, Melvin. You can be honest with yourself. And with me. Say what's on your mind. What's in your heart?
I see. Is it fair to assume that not much has changed for you during these 3 years, then?
Well, now that I think about it, I guess not. People don't change overnight. These things take a long time, you know?
You see, actually, all sorts of things have changed for me over the last 3 years.
Oh, is that so? How do you mean? Would you mind giving me some examples?
Firstly, I don't work for a company anymore. I'm a freelancer.
Ah, so that's how you make $75K a year then.
When I got fired, I started thinking a lot about investing in my future and what I needed to do if I wanted to work in the optimal environment for me and lead a happy life on my own terms. I took the plunge and bought myself a house.
Wow, that's great. I can live there with you then.
No, you really can't.
Huh?
Anyway, that's not even the biggest change. The biggest change in my life over the last 3 years is that I got married.
What? Wait, that doesn't make any sense, Melvin. Me and you still didn't fill out the marriage registration forms the second time around.
You still don't get it, do you? I got married to a girl from a company that helped me out big time when I was first trying to get established as a freelancer. We got married just 2 weeks ago, in fact.
What? You're having an affair? How could you do this to me?
An affair?
Yes, that's illegal. Hurry up and divorce her and marry me instead.
Ugh! Just the thought alone is giving me the creeps.
Why?
We are never getting back together, Mallory.
Even though you still love me? Don't deny it.
I'm just repeating myself now, and I get the feeling I'm probably wasting my energy here. But that's where you're wrong. In fact, that's the root of your misunderstanding. If you just accept I have no interest in you, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. I wonder if you'll accept it soon. Let's just see how far you're capable of deluding yourself. I'm genuinely curious.
Huh?
Do you think a guy you treated like a walking wallet, like your personal ATM, for years and years, is suddenly gonna come crawling back into your arms the moment you snap your fingers, just because you realized he has some money now?
Wow, Melvin. Like, oh my god, I can't even... Are you saying you don't love me?
How do I put this? Rather than not loving you, it's more that I hate you.
Oh my god.
You're a black stain on the past that I'd rather forget about.
No.
Your very existence fills me with disgust.
How could you say such things? Stop it! I was sure we were gonna get remarried. I got super excited and took out a loan so I could splash out on a bunch of brand bags and clothes. I was sure you'd pay it off for me as soon as we got back together.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. It's true. You really haven't changed at all.
What's that supposed to mean?
I want to build a life and a family with someone who loves me for who I am. Not for how much happens to be in my wallet at any given time. I consider myself lucky that my current wife fits that description and sees the world in the same way that I do.
I don't understand.
Whether you understand or not makes no difference to me. Never contact me again.
Wait, Melvin! Can't you at least give me $20,000? Come on, for old time's sake? How am I gonna pay off this debt otherwise? Please? I'll be homeless at this rate.
I found out what happened to Mallory next through her parents, my old in-laws. Apparently, she had been going around spreading the word of me and her getting back together. To them, my own parents, relatives from both families, and even our friends. The first words uttered by my ex-mother-in-law over the phone after not speaking for several years were, "You lying, cheating, two-timing rat." She had no interest in listening to what I had to say. Instead, opting to one-sidedly barrage me with an unending tirade of abuse. Having had a feeling things might go down this way, I prepared a record of mine and Mallory's chat logs beforehand. Her mom fell mysteriously silent the moment I sent them all. Her misunderstanding was cleared up in an instant. And with that, the barrage of abuse turned into one of seemingly unending embarrassed apologies. She told me that the plan for Mallory from here on out was to have her work at the family restaurant until she made enough to pay off her debts. Funny enough, I could hear someone crying hysterically in the background as she was explaining this to me over the phone. I wonder who that could have been. LOL. Just to be on the safe side, I had her mom make Mallory write me an official written pledge promising never to come near me or contact me ever again. I'm praying with that, I'll have a little more peace in life now.